Okay, so good morning, everybody. We do a little bit of update just before the NFP start that we have in half day today, like in about 5 hours from now. So NFP will be important because of several things we have seen. The first thing I wanted to point out, and that's what I've been saying for some times, and I just want to show it here. This is the most important data this week, and we see that we have had, so today we have the NFP and the average hourly earning, which is very important too. So all those three will be important today. But what we have seen this week, what we have seen last week and in several occasions is some what I call the red light switching on about the US economy. I'm not saying, because many people write and I do not answer, I have no time for that, and but I'm not against US economy or whatever. I don't care as soon as I make money. The only thing I'm seeing is that the risk of vulnerability of the US economy has been way too under priced in by the market, because everybody thinks that the US economy will have no risk with the inflation and the economical situation because it is so strong that nothing can happen to it. And that's not my point of view. My point of view is the hikes has been done way too fast. Now they are entering in a hike vicious circle, and that will start to affect the economy. We have seen some in the ISM and in previous information, even the first job loss, job opening here that is reducing. And if we look at this, we have had this peak of the curve, and we are now probably going down. You see how it's starting to accelerate. We can see some up and down moves, so we cannot change our mind each time there is a move on the market. But I think this thing will look lower. It was very high, it was very good, yes, but it will be affected, and that's my opinion. So concerning the unemployment claim, we had the same yesterday, and today we will have the NFP. So the NFP can be higher, lower, we will see what we have. But it's very important to take this in consideration. We do not make a trading strategy or change a trading strategy because there is one good information or because there is one speaker that is telling something today and change tomorrow. Sorry. So if we look at this curve here, it's the same thing. We are a little bit on the bottom of that thing now, and the only thing that can happen is that it goes up, technically speaking, even if that's not working as a technical indicator, but that's something we have to take in consideration. And as I said, the rate hikes path, what is doing now the central bank in US will affect sooner or later strongly, I repeat, strongly, the US economy. And we will see that in the next data coming, if not tomorrow, the next one. And every time you have a red data, you need to keep it in your mind and remember that when you are trading, to know the side you want to trade. Market is very overstretched on the buy side of the USD. As I said in the last updates, and the last one was the big one I made was for the quarterly update. Let me put back this chart because it's important. This chart is very important. We are on the, I posted this chart just way before we went there, and I said, and you can find it in my video, I said that could be or should be probably a top in place for the end of year. If we would move to 121 on a spike or something like that, and then come back in this channel. But that's really important because we are inside this top. Technically, we have many reasons to think that that can stay in place and just go down to there by the end of the year. And we have some other indication that are showing that we could be in the same direction. So we know when to the 50% of that Dixie, but what we will look at now is the Euro USD, because that's what is interesting for us today. So, sorry, I need to grab this chart again if it wants. Okay. Sometimes the TradingView has some troubles. I asked him too much. So this morning I posted this chart. I called for long here. I started to get long here, but I was too early. I didn't look well at my indicators. Then I reloaded some here, was stopped at -1 or -2. And then I took here some trades, started there, took some pips. We went down to this bottom, took long again. Then I took long again under this just before the London Open, because the indicator was saying the price was exhausted and we had to go up, and that's what's happening. The other thing I was expecting this morning, due to the price action here, I mean, when you have that kind of price action without really big thing happening, it's probable that it's just a stop hunt to scare market, and that could be a stop hunt before NFP, which would be very nice, because that would mean now up we go. So that's why I took that trade this morning, and because of the indicator. So what we need to look at now, if we look at this big chart, where is my retracement? Oh, it's here. Okay, so always take some distance with the market. We had this nice impulsive move up on the Euro USD, and we are now retracing to the 50% of that move. We are measuring here this move. So it's this move up. I think it's more or less accurate. I can go a little bit lower, but we see very well here. We went right to two things. We went right to the 50%. We went right to the 50% of that retracement, which means we came back halfway of what we did on the way up. We went up 400 and something pips. We ride this move 460 pips. So we ride this move nicely. And now we came back to the 50% of that move. And at the same time, we came back to the one-to-one extension of that ABC down. So I have put here 2, because it was a little bit tricky, and sometimes that's what happened. We don't know where is the high. Even if we take the high Kinachi candles, you see it's a little bit unclear. Normally this one would be the one that should be taken. So this one is, let me hide that one for now. So this one is the blue one, and you see that's exactly where we stopped today for now. I repeat, for now. So now we are struggling on the 78.6, 76.40 area of that move. But more important than that, and much more important than that, from a price action point of view, yesterday when I called on this low here, we have built this small consolidation area. What happened just before the London Open was a spike down. We took this one-to-one extension here, and we are now bouncing back inside this consolidation. So the next minutes, hour will be very important, because if we can break, close above it, bounce from it, and go a little bit higher before the NFP first, that would be great, because we can bank some long, of course. But second, that would confirm this thing here would be a perfect phase breakout post-it. So we will see that, and that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, we'll be buying each low here. We have the 1,272, 161.8 extension. Even if that's not the only thing I'm looking at, you have here this very nice, a little bit crowded chart with all my volume analysis. So you see here, we have had some very important support, and we have some more coming on the downside in case we would look lower. So always looking at confluences of different tools, volumes, FIB, and price action. Price action, this is a very good example. We have seen the volume here. It's a price action observation, and this is a FIB chart, of course. So that's what we look for. If we have, of course, a red NFP, Euro USD will fly. If it's really bad, it can fly hardly, really hardly. And in this case, we have some upside targets that we can look back here. The first area, important area, would be this 2021 moving averages confluence here that will be important. And then on the next higher level, we would retouch this volume area together with the 1272 extension there. And then the next very big area would be on the higher side, would be the 107 or something like that, support resistances that we have seen last week and that I spoke about in the quarterly update that I did, and that is still on YouTube if you want to look at it again. So that's where we are now. There is not a lot more to say, unless if you have some question, you can just ask me right now on in the chat room here. And if not, I will stop this thing for now. Yes, one thing I didn't show yet, and which is important, which is interesting, not very important, but interesting. If I take off all those FIB and I put here this channel, so this channel is interesting to look at because it's a daily channel. I put always a FIB channel because I am a FIB fan, but you can put normal channel here. The interesting thing, if you look well here, you see we stop on the on the 1140 FIB. Let me put it in percentage instead of value because that's useless. Okay, so the 1140 FIB, which is one of the FIB I use and not the other one I'm using, but that's what I'm using. If you reverse it anyway, you will find the 8860 FIB. So that's where we are now, and we see that we are struggling at the same time of the 70.16. The top of the day here, the open of the day was right on the 38.2 FIB. So we came back here inside, we are at the 50% of that move, and then if we would go up, the next big target, if for any reason, like for example, the NFP would be really bad here today, we would go around 1004 or something like that, above the parity. And I think that's what the ECB wants, and that's why they are intervening sometimes, because they want the Euro USD to go up. That's one of the tools they have to control the inflation inside the Eurozone. Okay, so let me stop this recording for the people who are not here.